Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Hare Krishna. Margshirsh month, chapter 16. The greatness of Srimad Bhagavat. Bhagavat Mahatmya. Sri Bhagwan said, Listen, O four-faced one, to the description of meditation. I shall give it with a delighted mind. By listening to it, a man obtains good fortune on the earth. The form to be meditated upon. The Lord is to be meditated upon as follows. The Lord is seated on a lotus like pedestal placed in a spot paved with and illuminated by precious stones. The culp trees shine nearby. The bejeweled spot shines within a pavilion with golden background surrounded by a glorious park. He has the dark blue luster of sapphire. He is in the form of a very small child. His tresses, glossy like molasses, are scattered over his face. His face is handsome like the beautiful full blown lotus surrounded by swarms of bees. His eyes resemble blue lotus. His cheeks gleam on account of the moving earrings. The nose is shapely and beautiful. The lips are red. The whole face is full of smiles. Many ornaments scatter their refulgence round his neck. He holds his nail. His eyes resemble a lotus. His chest is soiled and grey colored due to the dust particles raised by the cows. His limbs are well nourished. They gleam like gold. Strings of tinkling bells are tied round his hips and the pairs of beautiful calves and thighs. He shines with the excellent lustre of the lotus like pairs of hands and feet, having the splendor of a bandhu jeev flower. He is laughing. There is milk pudding in his right hand. He holds fresh, pure butter in his left hand. He is fire that burns down multitudes of demons who have become a burden to the earth. He is engaged in the task of killing Putna and others. The Lord is surrounded by groups of cowherdesses and cowherds. The Lord of Devas is bowed down to by Indra and others. Humble with devotion, he should worship Krishna after remembering him early in the morning, along with the Lord of Serpents as well as Vajra, Thunderbolt, etc. The devotee should please him with butter like white lotus and with milk mixed with curds. The man who is always endued with faith and piety, and who always worships Achyut in the morning itself, shall ere long attain fully the goddess of fortune, and after that he shall go to the purest great abode, Vaikunt. The mantra, O son, has previously at the outset been mentioned, named Sri Mad Damodar. It is fascinating to the entire world. Listen to those who are entitled to its use. O son, this most important mantra should not be given by you to an undeserving person. The secret that yields siddhi quickly should be guarded with great effort. The preceptor should not accept a disciple who is idle, dirty, distressed, and characterized by hypocrisy and delusion. He, the pupil, shall not be indigent, sickly, infuriated, lecherous, and lustful. He should not be jealous and malicious, roguish, and harsh in speech. He should not be one who has earned wealth unjustly or who is always devoted to other men's wives. He should not be inimical to the learned. He should not be perpetually ignorant fellow or one who professes to be a scholar. He should not be one who has deviated from his vow or one who is of obscure or irregular means of livelihood. He should not be slanderous or vicious in mind. He should not be voracious, cruel in his activities, or a leader of wicked minded people. He should not be miserly, sinful, dreadful, or one who terrorizes persons who seek refuge in him. The preceptor should not accept a disciple who has all any of these evil characteristics. If he accepts him, his defects, sins will affect the preceptor. Just as the defect, mistakes of a minister affects the king, just as the defect of wife affects the husband, so also the defect of disciple passes on to the preceptor undoubtedly. Hence, the teacher should always test the disciple and only then should he accept him. The disciple should be one who is devoted to the service of the preceptor mentally, verbally, and physically. He should not stoop to thieving. He should be endowed with pious qualities, faith, etc. Should endeavor to attain salvation. He should be devoted to the vow of celibacy. He should always be steadfast in the performance of holy rites. He should be cheerful, optimistic in his mind. He should be pure and not be knavish. His mind should be free from impurities. He should be devoted to helping others. He should be disinterested. He should be one who causes delight to the preceptor with his mind, body, personal service, and wealth. He should cause delight, O son, to all who depend upon him and shall be pure. The preceptor should impart the mantra to a disciple of only such a nature and not otherwise. If he were to instruct otherwise, the curse of Devas will fall on him. Listen, O son, I shall describe the characteristics of the preceptor too. Only that person who is endowed with these characteristics should be a preceptor to people. He who is impartial in mind, calm and quiescent, devoid of anger, friendly to all men, good in behavior, great and magnanimous, and accords equal treatment to all in the world, is glorified as the ideal preceptor. He must always observe my holy rites and vows. He must be one honored by Vaishnavas. He must be interested in episodes pertaining to me. He must be ever devoted to my festivals. He must be an ocean of mercy and must be perfectly contented. He should be one who helps and obliges all living beings. He must be devoid of desire. He must be an all rounder and accomplished gentleman. He must be an expert in all laws. He must be capable of dispelling all doubts. He must not be lazy. Such a preceptor is a respected Brahman. He knows what happens at different times. He should bless all. The disciple, having the characteristics mentioned before, should receive that mantra, O son, from a preceptor of this type in the month of Margshirsh, which is my resort. A wise man should perform all the Vaishnav vratas. He should always listen to the great holy scripture of Srimad Bhagavat, that is my favorite. The Puran named Srimad Bhagavat is renowned throughout the world. The devotee should listen to it with faith. It causes my satisfaction and pleasure. A man who reads the Bhagavad Puran continuously gets the merit of gifting a tawny colored cow for every syllable so read. He who reads or listens to half or even one fourth of a verse quoted from Bhagavad every day shall obtain the merit of the gift of 1,000 cows. O son, a man who reads with mental and physical purity a verse from Bhagavad every day attains the merit of reading all the 18 Puranas. Vaishnavas stay there where my story is continuously told. Those men are unaffected by Kali, who always honor my favorite Puran. Those men who honor in their abode the, the scriptures of Vaishnavas become rid of all their sins and they are saluted by Suras. If people always honor the scripture Bhagavad in their houses in the Kali age, if they clap their hands in praise thereof, and if they shout in joy, I become delighted with them. The mains drink milk, ghee, honey, and water for as many days, O son, as their descendants keep the Bhagavad text in their abodes. Those who devotedly present the Bhagavad scripture to a Vaishnav reside in my world for thousands and crores of kalps. Devas are propitiated till the universal annihilation of all living beings by the men who honor the Bhagavad scripture in their abodes always. If one has in one's abode half of a verse or even one fourth of it from the excellent Bhagavad, of what use are the collection of hundreds and thousands of other scriptural texts? If in Kali age anyone has no Bhagavad text in his abode, he will never return from the noose of Yam. If there is no Bhagavad text in anyone's house in Kali age, how can he be known as a Vaishnav? He is worse than a Chandal. O Lord of the world, scriptural texts must be collected even at the cost of all that one possesses. For the sake of propitiating me, O my son, a Vaishnav must do so always. Wherever there is Bhagavad, the holy scripture in Kali age, I always stay there along with Devas. All the Tirths, west flowing and east flowing, rivers and lakes, yajnas and seven cities, and all the meritorious mountains are present there. O Lord of the worlds, my scripture should be listened to by one who seeks fame, virtue, and victory for the sake of dispelling sins, and by the pious minded one for the sake of salvation. Srimad Bhagavat is meritorious. It yields longevity, health, and nourishment. By reading or listening to it, one is liberated from all sins. If people do not listen to the great scripture, Srimad Bhagavat, O Lord of the worlds, their perpetual master is Yam. It is indeed the truth positively. If a man does not go to listen to Bhagavat, O son, particularly on the Ekadashi day, there is no greater sinner than he. I stay in that house where a verse from Bhagavad or half of it or even a quarter of it is kept written. Approaching all the hermitages and taking a holy plunge in all the rivers is not as sanctifying unto men as Srimad Bhagavat. Wherever there is Srimad Bhagavat, O four-faced one, I go to that place like a cow fond of her calf. I never abandon that man who is a reader and expounder of my stories, who is always engaged in listening to my stories and who is delighted in his mind on hearing my stories. If a man does not stand up on seeing Srimad Bhagavat, the meritorious scripture, O son, his merit for the whole year perishes. If a man honors Srimad Bhagavat on seeing it by standing up and bowing down to it, by seeing him I derive matchless pleasure. If on seeing Bhagavat from a distance, a person gladly proceeds towards it, he shall undoubtedly attain the merit of a horse sacrifice for every such step. If a man gets up and bows down to Srimad Bhagavad, I grant to him wealth, sons, wives, and devotion. If men devotedly listen to Srimad Bhagavad, offering royal reception and reverence to it, I am won over by them easily. O righteous one, men who listen devotedly to the great Srimad Bhagavad during all my festivals give me great delight. I am won over by them through clothes, ornaments, flowers, incense, lamps, and presents like a good husband by a good wife. Chapter 16, the greatness of Srimad Bhagavad, Bhagavad Mahatmya, is completed. All those who are listening, please say with me, Jai Sri Hari Vishnu Bhagwan, Jai Mahalakshmi Mata. Friends, please like and share this video. Also, do subscribe the channel if you have not already subscribed, as you will get updates related to Sanatan Dharma, Hinduism, upcoming festival dates, etc. Thanks. Hare Krishna.